Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's Juan Solo here with ASQD Gaming, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in today for a Call of Duty World War II video. And today's video, we are going to be talking about all the details of Call of Duty World War II multiplayer that we do know so far. So yesterday, as you guys know, we had the worldwide reveal trailer of Call of Duty World War II, and the majority of it did showcase campaign. But we did get a couple little snippets of multiplayer, some weapons that we're going to be seeing in the game, and also the fact that they did confirm that the third mode is going to be some sort of a Nazi zombies that I'm actually really looking forward to, going back to the original Nazi zombies. So some of the first weapons they did pop up during their live stream. We have right here, we have the M1 Garand, which is probably one of the most notorious weapons from World War II. You guys know that historical ping sound when your magazine's empty. But as you guys can see here, it shows all the different parts of the weapon, like the stock, the butt swivel, the safety, the trigger. And next we have the MG42, one of the most powerful machine guns in the World War II era. And this thing is going to be an absolute monster. And then also, like I said there, it shows all the individual parts. So I'm thinking maybe these are going to be things that we're going to slightly be able to customize or etch things on, you know, maybe some just customization features. Then we have the M1903 sniper rifle, which is a 30 caliber bolt action sniper rifle. It's going to be kind of similar to the Springfield that was in Call of Duty World at War. So one of the cool snipers that are going to be in the game. And then last here of these images, we have the Grease gun, which is a 45 caliber submachine gun. This was probably one of the bigger used weapons in World War II. And we actually haven't seen this in any other Call of Duty, I believe. At least after Call of Duty 4, we haven't seen this. This one was not in Call of Duty World at War. So those are just some of the weapons that we actually got to see during the live stream that would actually pop up behind Michael Condrey and Glenn Schofield. They were kind of talking about the confirmed weapons that were actually, you know, they specified. But then later in the live stream, they also did a behind the scenes look at how they made Call of Duty World War II, and they kind of showed some of the editing process and how all the historical stuff that they had to research to get all their information on the game. And in that part, we got to see the M1911 handgun, which that gun is the most notorious gun for a sidearm in World War II in Call of Duty history. It's almost been in every single Call of Duty, so I'm not surprised to see that one in there. And then after that, we actually have the M1A1 carbine, which personally, I actually own one of these. It was actually my great-grandfather's that he used in World War II. And this is a semi-automatic. This was kind of your carbine rifle that kind of rivaled the M1 Garand back in World War II. It was a little bit more of a marksman assault rifle. And then here we have some sort of a rocket launcher, which I believe to be very similar to one of the rocket launchers that was in Call of Duty World at War. So there's going to be so many more weapons, guys. They did specify that they tried to bring a very wide variety and a big range of allied and Axis weapons to Call of Duty World War II. So we are going to have a very, very big selection to choose from. The more guns, the better, as long as, at least my personal opinion, as long as they don't bring in weapon variants of these weapons, I think it'll be a good system. But they do have to give us a big enough variety to kind of keep us busy across the board throughout, you know, when we're playing and stuff like that, just to make it a little bit more fun. So next up, these are some of the multiplayer details that have been officially announced. So War is going to be a new game mode that says this narrative-driven mode brings a gripping new layer of excitement to Axis versus Allies team play. And I am going to touch base on exactly what Michael Condrey specified that as being here in a second. But Divisions is a new way to approach a created class and character customization as you enlist in a division and progress through the ranks. So you're going to be able to pick, I believe, 3 different divisions, and then there's actually going to be classes in those individual divisions that's going to kind of basically make it so what your character actually looks like in the game. And you know, I think this is going to be one really cool feature because it's going to kind of break down and it's going to give you guys more customization features, and it's going to give a little bit more progression to the game so it lasts longer. Lastly, we have headquarters. So this is going to be a living social space. If you guys want to compare it to something, it would be kind of like the pre-game lobby before you go into an H1Z1 lobby, how everybody's just kind of mingling around in an area. Or you could kind of consider it like Destiny's Tower, when all the Guardians can kind of go and do their things and hang out and check out each other's stuff. And I really think this is something really, really cool to add to the Call of Duty franchise. I kind of wish they would have done this earlier, but I think this is a perfect game to do it. So it looked like you're kind of out on a beach there, and it's just a living environment where I believe you're going to have up to 48 players being able to be in this living space. And I'm going to talk about that here in a second. But overall, it's going to be awesome. And we haven't had really too much information on exactly what you're going to be able to do in this space. And this is strictly a rumor that I heard on Twitter. There's nothing behind it. but somebody did state that there's a possibility that you might be able to trade in this space, whether that be camos, whether that be in some sort of in-game currency or anything like that. I think that would kind of be a cool feature as long as it doesn't get out of hand with, you know, I don't know exactly what they're going to have in the game, but that's just a rumor, guys. Do not take that with any truth. That was just something that I heard. Also, what Michael Condrey was saying about the new game mode War was it's an asymmetrical allied versus Axis mode where factions fight to capture or defend critical objectives. This mode changes map design, strategy, teamwork, and we're really excited about its potential. So if you guys go off of that, there was actually a leak. I wouldn't call it a leak, but when this thing went up on the Microsoft Store, and I'll throw an image up on screen here real quick, right after they announced the game, they threw the listing up on the Xbox Store, and it said that it was going to be 2 to 48 players. And then later last night, they changed the listing to 2 to 18 players. So there's two things here. One, the first listing that went up was a typo, which honestly, I don't believe it was. You know, that's just my opinion. I believe that this game is going to support up to 48 players, whether that be just in the headquarters, which is the living social space, or this new war game mode with the Allies versus Axis is going to be a 24v24 battle. So I honestly, I would not put it past Call of Duty of doing something like this, kind of, because obviously you guys know Battlefield has big, massive, open world multiplayer maps with many, many people on it, usually 16, 32 players on each team. And the way an asymmetrical map would work, asymmetrical basically means that each team is not going to have the same stuff. So you're going to have Allies versus Axis. So Allies are going to have all of the Allied weapons and stuff like that. And same thing with the Axis side. And then it says also, he did say in that quote, this mode changes map design, strategy, and teamwork. So obviously, if you're going to be having a 24v24 map, it's definitely going to change map design. It's going to change strategy because there's going to be a lot more people and there's going to be a lot more going on the map. And then also it's going to be changing teamwork because you're not just going to be able to go in there with one person and take out 3 or 4 enemies and be good, because there's going to be a lot more enemies than that. So honestly, my personal opinion, I think they are going to be bringing a 24v24 game mode to Call of Duty World War II, and this is going to be kind of like the test stage of it. I think they're going to try to see exactly how it works, how the connection works, and how the gameplay actually works, if people enjoy it, if people don't enjoy it. You know, honestly, I think it'd be really cool. Could you imagine getting kill streaks on a map when there's 24 enemies on it? You could wreak havoc on those maps. You know, hopefully they do it on big enough maps that it doesn't, you know, put everybody in too tight of a space. But honestly, I am super excited about Call of Duty World War II. I know there's been a couple other people that I've seen on social media that were kind of hating on it. You know, I know there's some people out there that wanted boost jumping and all that stuff to stay in Call of Duty. But my personal opinion, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed Black Ops 3. I didn't really enjoy Advanced Warfare or Infinite Warfare, but Call of Duty needs to return to its roots. It needs to be back where it originated in World War II. We have not been able to see a really good World War II game on the current gen hardware that we have now. And then also with the PS4 being out, the PS4 Pro being out, and then also we're going to be getting the Xbox Scorpio this Christmas. The amount of detail in this game so far, we have actually seen a little bit of in-game actual gameplay, and it looks absolutely beautiful. It is a very dark, emotional theme to the game, being that it's World War II, but honestly, I cannot wait to play this thing on the Xbox Scorpio later this year and see how amazing it actually is going to look. But that is pretty much all for the video, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, you guys found it hypeful, you guys are psyched for Call of Duty World War II multiplayer. And real quick, guys, multiplayer is going to be coming to E3 this year for Call of Duty World War II, and E3 this year is actually open to the public. So if you guys have any ability to go to that, you will be able to get hands-on with Call of Duty World War II multiplayer at the event. This is a first for Sledgehammer, and this is the first time, I believe they did this back in Black Ops 3. You could do this. But, you know, honestly, I cannot wait to see more on multiplayer. But like I said, that's pretty much all for the video, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to slap a like on it. It would be much appreciated. Also, if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest Call of Duty World War II news. And I still am going to be covering some Ghost Recon and stuff like that, so stay tuned to the channel for that. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.